congratulations on your victory this evening.
Thank you, so appreciate that.
40 seconds. I don't think a lot of people saw that one coming. You obviously came out very, very quickly. So, I mean, did you envision a scenario in which you got this thing done that quick?
I did come out and I let that left hand go from the chamber. The force of him dipping and me connecting with him with my hip even was a shot in itself. But I'd probably put that down to 15 months outside of the octagon. You know what I mean? A little bit overstepping the shot. I knew Donald, and I know Donald's good at dipping under the left hand, and I knew he would attempt to dip under the left hand. He's done it to the former champion in the 170 division, Robbie Lawler. He dipped under the left hand multiple times and secured takedowns. He dipped it under the now middleweight Darren Till. So 15 months outside the octagon, a little eager, you know, take from it all and carry on.
The shoulder strikes were incredibly effective. Was that something that you drilled? Was that a little bit of improvisation? What was that?
You know, they'll have to say now, you know where they say, I've just got a left hand. They'll have to say, I've just got a left shoulder as well. A left hand and a left shoulder. The so-called experts of the game, and they'd be breaking down my skill set, they'd be saying, I'm just a fighter with a left hand, which is highly disrespectful and uneducated. And I'd be surprised that so many of the supposedly knowledgeable people, they'd be just claiming it as that. So it's a good shot in the clinch. You see it, you can really catch a man. So I knew I caught him with the first one off guard, then I caught one or two more, and when we separated, the nose and the eye was bust. It's a good shot. I've utilised that many times in the gym, and happy with it.
You ultimately finished him with punches, but the high kick was a big part of the finish. I'm curious, I mean, obviously that's kind of his signature move in a lot of ways. I mean, was that something you wanted to execute, or?
Yeah, no, of course. I knew Donald has the most head kick knockouts in UFC history. I was saying to Megan backstage, that's the equivalent of a world title to me, to having a record like that, the most head kick knockouts. So, but at the same time, and I knew he was planning to knock me out with a head kick. I knew he wanted to, everyone, oh, what if Donald catches the head kick and all this. I knew this was what Donald would have been envisioning, and his team. They would have been practicing how to set me up with the high kicks. But at the same time, I noticed Donald has many discrepancies in leans and dips and under certain attacks that can also set him up for the high kick. So the high kick was something I thought I could catch him with also.
His grandmother came in and spoke with you. I'm curious if you could share the details of that conversation.
She's just a phenomenal woman, that lady. She's there from the first fight of the night till the final fight of the night, and even after the bout came over, and she just showed me respect, and I showed her respect, and it was great to finally meet her. You know what I mean? You see her, she's a prevalent part of the game, isn't she? Right? When Donald's fought so much, and that lady's there from the start of the night to the finish, man. What a lady, and what a man she's raised. And very, very, very honoured to share the cage with Donald, and very proud. You know, he's a good man, and he's got good people behind him, and much respect.
Last thing for me, Conor, we had a chance to speak with Dana already. I know there's a lot of options on the table, but he seems to think lightweight title shot is the best move for you going forward. Now, you've come out and said, at least I guess to him and to public view, that fight is not going to happen between Khabib and Tony. I'm curious, what kind of deadline because you'd certainly be in line for the winner, but if you could slide in, that would be pretty impressive. But is there like a deadline?
No, I don't think the who matters, right? I think, okay, the lightweight title will be there, right? That will be there, you know. You see the difference in the physique, the preparation, and that, and that will come back around that shot. So I'm certainly not gonna, if this fight does go ahead, sit out and then wait for it through holidays and injuries and all this type of thing that goes with it. So the who doesn't matter for me now. It's just I'm looking at dates now, and I know March was there, and I'm gonna have a look at the calendar and see where we're at. And Lorenzo gets back in from Panama on Tuesday, so I'll toast a fine Irish whiskey with Lorenzo. I always look to do that, you know, tradition. I was talking with Dana, so he gets back on Tuesday to Vegas, so I'll stay here and I'll go for dinner and a toast with Lorenzo and Dana, and I'm sure we'll chat about it then and see what's what. So I'll be ready. You know, I'll have a celebration tonight. I'll chill with my kids tomorrow. I'll show Junior the fight on the telly, see how he reacts to it, see what he thinks of it, and then back to training. You know, when you take before a fight, you taper off for the final 2 weeks. So if you get a quick win and then you kind of go off, then all of a sudden it could be 4 weeks without a full training. You know what I mean? Without a real training session, and then you slip behind again. So I'm gonna make sure not to do that and get a good session in the day after tomorrow and carry on.
Congrats, Conor, on your victory. Very impressive.
Thank you.
Just kind of curious why you let yourself get in that before, where you didn't do those things that you're just talking about you did now. What was it that put you in the bad spot?
I achieved it all, right? I broke the game before I was 30 years of age. Simple as one belt became not enough. One belt's almost not even enough anymore. You got to get the two to even start questioning, or start earning a big style. So maybe that I achieved it all. John always says the worst. My coach says it's the worst nightmare for a coach if a student achieves it all. The money, the fame, the belts, all of this. What then to motivate me? So I probably had to go through that and then just come back for it for the love. Like I got into it in the first place for the love. So yeah, and everything's a learning curve, and you learn what's right and what's wrong. You know what I mean? So.
Did you ever have a point like after the Khabib fight where you just were sitting there thinking about what you did and thought, I made a mistake here, I made a mistake here, because you still have achieved everything, right? But you went into this fight and performed. So obviously something changed from your preparation in the Khabib fight to this.
Yeah, just my commitment, I wasn't committed. And for me, it was just a disrespect to the people that believe in me. So if I'm forming a team and I'm building, look, it feels like the world lights up when I make the walk, right? Everyone's so invested in it and excited by it. And then I've got the team of people that are behind me and putting their all and taking time away from their family and their people to come help me. And then I'm not committed with it, So I'll go training and then I'll go missing for 3 days and then I'll come back and it's sporadic and it's on my call and I'll ring and say, hey, we're in the gym now in the next half an hour, make sure everyone's there. I just felt like I disrespected the people that believed in me and supported me, that's what led me to recenter myself and get back to where I was at.
I wonder if you feel like you can turn that Khabib fight into a fight like this, where I know you want to win the fight, but will it get nasty, or will it be a fight where you're able to do what you did here and people really, it seemed like they fell back in love with you like they had done several years ago?
It's got very personal with that man and his team, and look, it is what it is. I make no promises. Then I am who I am, and it is what it is. So I'll certainly be focused on the skill sets. You know what I mean? We have a particular skill set, myself and that man. He holds onto the legs, and I come for it. So I'll be excited to get that one back. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens in the 20 fight. Tony's another interesting foe for me. See what happens. If something happens, I'll be here.
Just two last questions. I wanted to get your opinion of that fight. Do you think, everybody talks about Khabib has won 28 in a row. I think Tony's won 16 or 17 in a row. Do you think Khabib is a lock to win that, or do you see a way Tony could win that fight?
A fight's a fight. Tony's hittable, but he's awkward and he's rangy and he's, you know what I mean? So anything can happen. Let's see what happens.
And then finally, how did things change if you have to make a weight cut? So in this fight, you didn't have to do that. You go into this fight, you're strong, you do that. Do you have to test in maybe training camp?
Oh no, I won't test. I've done it before. I'm Mr. Weight Class. You know what I mean? I've gone through all the divisions, right? I've gone through 3 divisions now. So it's just about commitment. That's it. Just commit and just do what you know you need to do, and that's it. So tonight's my night, but I'm no different than you know what I mean. All I did was just put in the work, and that's it. So if each one of us put in the work that we know we should do, we know what the work is we need to do. It's just sometimes you don't do it, and then when you say, okay, I got to do this, and you got to do it, and then you don't do it. That's like a defeat, and then those add up, and then your lack of interest to go do it actually wanes, and then you can get injured and all this type of thing. So for me, it's just about recognizing what needs to be done and do it strictly and do it. And that for me leads me to enjoy it more. And that's basically what happened this camp. So I could have made 155 this week. I ate up to 170. So I'd say I could have been about 169 in there on the night. I'd say Donald had a bit to cut this fight for this camp. He was in the sauna since Wednesday, so I wouldn't be surprised if Donald was about 180 plus in there. So, but I tell you what, I felt energetic, I felt good, and happy days. So, but I've experienced it all. I've experienced near blackouts for the Mendes weight cut. I had no nutritionist, no nothing, and I done it all myself, and it was a heavy weight cut. And then for the Aldo one, I done it correctly, and I felt okay. We had a nutritionist on board, and I felt good at 145, and I obviously had amazing success down there. And then the 155, and then it's just about commitment. That's it. You put in the work, you'll reap the rewards. There's no secret sauce to this. Recognize what you need to do and fucking do it, and you will succeed.
Hi Conor, straight in front of you to your left. I asked Dana about the possibility of you fighting Khabib in Moscow, and he's very against the idea. Can you explain to me why that's so appealing?
Why was he against it?
Pay-per-view, buddy.
Come on now, how much money is enough money? How much money is enough money, for fuck's sake? There's not a money in Russia, there's not a revenue in Russia. I love Russia, I love the Russian people. I went to Moscow recently, and they're such a great nation. They're so passionate about the sport of mixed martial arts. They're so passionate about myself, and they support me greatly. They support proper 12 Irish whiskey. They know a good liquid. They know a good spirit. So they're good spirited people. And what a place! It would be like something out of a Rocky movie. You know what I mean? So I'd be very eager to do that. They ain't in the hometown Vegas boy. I know the Vegas people will be campaigning for it. Look, let's see what happens. I would love that. I want to create spectacles for the people, you know? That's one hell of a spectacle. Even me going out there in Moscow that time, the place shut down, the world took notice, you know what I mean? Your mom was saying I wasn't allowed out there, I wasn't supposed to be out there. They were running the streets screaming my name. So, I'm more Russian than that man. So I would love to go to Moscow and compete there, you know?
Dana didn't like Moscow, but he liked the sound of stadium shows, potentially in the UK, maybe even the new Raiders stadium. No?
Oh, here?
Yeah.
Here, of course. But if there's a stadium show happening in Europe, it's happening in Ireland. It's not happening in the UK. I love the UK greatly also, but it's not happening in the UK. If there's a stadium show earmarked for me in Europe, bring that motherfucker to Ireland. I'm asking that since the beginning. What did I say? I'm gonna go backstage with Mr. Lorenzo Fertitta, toast whiskey and talk football stadiums. So I'd be more than excited about that if we could do it. I'd love to compete in Ireland as well. I'd love to compete in my hometown. Do you know what I mean? How amazing would that be also? I'm gonna have to have a sit down. I know that what's it called? The Allegiant Stadium. It looks phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. It does. I would love to be the first combatant to compete in there. So that's definitely on the radar, and it's so easily done. But I would love to bring it home also.
Just one last one. Have you seen Floyd's post since the fight?
Yeah, you forgot McGregor Sports and Entertainment on the poster. You know what I mean? That right there cuts him out. So it's me and Manny. Look, we'll see what happens. Al Floyd, he's a funny man, Al Floyd, so we'll see what happens. The discussions are always ongoing. They never stop, you know. You know, Floyd and going through money fast. So he's far from retired. That rematch will happen at some stage.
But mixing MMA and boxing, I'd imagine that's a bit more difficult than having maybe a clear run at just MMA for maybe a year. Well, what is the plan there? Maybe just stick to MMA for this year?
We'll see what happens. Look, I spent so much time in my boxing gym. I went back to my roots, Crumlin boxing, where I began. And what happens tonight? I smack him with my shoulder and smack him with my foot. I was almost gonna say to Joe, that's Crumlin boxing 101. Smack him with the shoulder. But no, I've been getting great training in with the team back home, and I'm an experienced fighter, right? I've been through it all. I've been up and down in the weights. I've been across sports, so I can do it all as long as I'm fit, and we'll see what presents itself.
made it a point to stay sober throughout this camp. You agree with that many times. How's it feel to be reconnected with your old friend there?
My belly is warm. What can I say? But don't get me wrong. You gotta. That's one of the things I love about whiskey. You've got to respect it. You've got to respect that liquid. Because if you don't, it will come and get you. So yeah, I done a good stint off of it. It was not easy, but the people deserved it. I made a promise to the people, to my fans, to my team, that I would abstain. That's a baby of mine. I've got Conor Jr., I've got Kriya, and I've got Prop as well. It was one of my children. Seriously. So it was not easy, but I stuck with it. It's great to get a little sip on the tongue now tonight, and I'll enjoy it with the fans tonight, and then respect it after that. I've learned the lesson. I'll tell you what, once or twice.
Tonight was Donald Cerrone's 34th UFC fight, which is the most in history. It's the first time he's never landed a strike in a fight. What does that mean to you to kind of be the person who made that happen?
The records that man has, give him some sort of belt. Seriously, that you give belts out and this, that, they're even creating them now at this stage. What a phenomenal legacy Donald has, and it's an honor to share the octagon with that man. Seriously, I mean that. I've shared the octagon with some great UFC fighters, and Donald is up there with the best of them all. So I'm very, very proud to share the octagon with him. And phenomenal records. I can only hope and dream to achieve the records he has. The amount of 34 fights. That's my 12th fight. So he's 3 times more fights than me inside that. He fought 11 times in the last year, and I'd only fought 11 times in the UFC period. So it's just breathtaking what the man's be at, and I'm happy that it was clean enough. You know what I mean? I thought if it went down, and Donald falls into shots sometimes, and I knew if he fell into it, I was almost anticipating having Herb stop the fight. I was almost anticipating if we go on here and he falls into a shot and I catch him with a backhand shot or a lead hook shot as he's coming in, and he goes down, I'm not going to follow him down. I'd have Herbs try and step in. Do you know what I mean? That was kind of what I was thinking on the way in. So I'm happy the way it ended. It was a couple of shoulder smacks, the foot clattered him in the head and shocked him, and then the backhand put him down, and he'll recover and he'll go again. So I'm happy with that. I'm excited to see what he does. So.
And you mentioned records. One of the first things off the tip of your tongue when you won was the record about getting knockouts at featherweight, lightweight, welterweight.
That's a phenomenal record. If I do say so myself, I wanted that one. You know what I mean? Like I said, they strip fighters and then they makeshift belts. They give fighters makeshift belts against unranked opponents. All this type of stuff. And then it's like to replicate. When I won that champs, when I became champ, right, they didn't even have the second belt for me. They didn't want to have the second belt for me. Then all of a sudden they're stripping fighters and making easy enough matchups and almost creating it again after me. I'm like, what the fuck, man? These guys, they'll wipe you off the map like that. So I'm happy I got another. I etched myself in history again. I don't think that can be. I don't think that's a record that can be achieved handily again, across 3 weight divisions, and so I'm happy with it.
You also mentioned, making up.
They won't get rid of me, I tell you.
You mentioned, the making fake belts and stuff up too. Jorge Masvidal was cageside. He was wearing a very familiar-looking outfit that I think he kind of made famous once. What did you make of that?
I talk about baloney. If you ask me, that was ridiculous. I didn't know what was going on there. Like I said, the old ladies in Ireland, they wear house coats watching the soap operas. So I'm like, what's this guy sitting there? I'm like, I don't know, whatever, all the best.
Fight interest you at all?
Yeah, of course. Let's see what happens. I'd like to scoop up that. That's not a great belt, is it? But I'll still take it. Add it to the list, So, wasn't a good night for Jorge, if you ask me. But all the best to him. God loves a trier.
Last thing for me, Nate Diaz tweeted out right after the fight.
He has his own little thing on. It's a mad scene. I don't know what to be doing.
Nate Diaz tweeted out right after the fight, calling it weak as fuck. I don't know if that was in reference to Donald's performance or just the fight in general. You know, what's your response to that, and is he anywhere on your list of potential opponents?
Let's go, Nathan. Let's go, brother. Number 3. It's always here. So, we're right here, Nathan.
Final questions for Conor?
Hey, Connor, down here. I think Jorge was trying to wear the same robe that you wore at the Maymac workouts in Vegas at the PI. It's like the same. I think that's what he was trying to. If you look at it, it's like a
Boy.
Versace robe.
I know what it is. Boy. So I don't know either. So I'm just whatever. Broken. I don't know.
Dana was in here earlier. I guess Kamaru Usman had his Twitter hacked, and some of the hacked tweets were to you. They were profane.
I'd be skeptical of that. I'd be skeptical of that, because one came through early, and it had all the hallmarks of that little fucking weasel, Ali. Just a right. They give him control of the accounts. He had Frankie's account. He had Henry's account. This has been going on a while. He gets it, and then writes something through their thing. And I've been in discussions with some of these athletes, right, to come on board and whatever, and help them out. And that I know exactly what had happened, and then the way the first one was written, I knew exactly where it came from. And then all of a sudden, a little bit heavier ones, and then it became a hack job. So. Whatever, I don't know what the fuck, I don't know what's going on tonight. It's a bit of a weird night, wasn't it? The two boys doing mad stuff. I don't know, man. Whatever, all the best to them.
So you think it could have been Usman screen and Ali?
No, I don't think it was Usman. I don't know. I don't care. I don't care, man. I actually don't care. Therefore, it just had all the hallmarks of your man that's done it in the past multiple times. So that's what it because I didn't even see it originally, right? Oh, I saw one originally. And Dana then sent a message to send to me, oh, this had to happen. And I was like, I don't think, but I didn't see any of the rest of them. I just saw the first one, and the first one had all the hallmarks of your man logging in and doing his thing like he's done with all his other clients that he represents. It's happened out. This is happening since years. Like I'm talking to, like even with the other crowd. Like I've been dealing with this a long time, so I know exactly what the sus is. But whatever.
I mean, do you think that with Usman and Masvidal, well, they're obviously trying to fight you? Obviously, that's what the message is behind all this stuff, right?
Yeah.
They're not.
Yeah, of course. Let's deal with that. Let's do it. I'm more than ready. I enjoy this division. I like this division. I don't think they're that big. They're a bit bigger, right? Okay. I think Donald's bigger than Jorge. I know Jorge has a win over Donald, but I think Donald's as big. Now Jorge's a former lightweight, so I don't know what Dana was saying. I'd like to see them on the scales right now tonight and see what they're at. And I don't think they're at the end of the day, we got to weigh 170. I feel good at 170. I don't think your man Usman, he's small enough, 5'4", but 5'8" or something. I think he's small. So I'm more than ready for that division. I'm here at this division. I hold a nice win in this division now. A couple of nice wins. So we'll see what happens. I'm open.
That's fine.
Thank you guys. Appreciate you all. Thank you.